really impressive performance, 42-14 win at Bryant. What did you like most about the way your guys played?
Just really happy with the fast start. A little bit sluggish a week ago, and just to play complementary football. I think all three phases got better as the game went on. Defensively did a really good job early, getting a couple three and outs. We scored touchdowns on our first four possessions offensively. So I thought we were clicking on all cylinders. Thought the offensive line did a really nice job getting Veza a bunch of time. He did a really good job getting through progression. Defensively, I think they wreaked some havoc. Had a good amount of TFLs, I think 8 QB hits. So, yeah, I just think overall, probably one of our most complete games of the year, and it came at a really good time.
Offensively, you mentioned Vez 328 yards and 5 touchdowns, so a career day there, but also a career day for Caleb Burke with 9 catches for 134 yards. And then your tight end, Peyton Strickland, gets in the action and catches a couple of touchdowns. Just talk about the job that your receivers did to go along with that.
Great job, Caleb. A couple of those plays, were really good designs, and we felt like we took advantage of some voids in the defense, and a couple were just straight one-on-one matchups that he won. Did a really good job. In particular, I thought our guys and him as well, yards after the catch. I think we had 215. That was the most that by far that we had all year. So he's getting stronger as the game's gone on. He's been really effective the last month, which so really happy for him, and we need him to continue. And yeah, Peyton Strickland getting in the end zone twice was awesome. So he's somebody that has certainly really really improved.
We're here with New Hampshire head coach Rick Santos. If you have a question for him this morning, just use the chat feature or the raise your hand icon. The other thing before we jump off the offense, Denzel Gibson, 90 yards rushing. He's kind of been in Miles Thomason's shadow a little bit this year, but had the 45-yard touchdown and 90 yards on the day. How good to see him get going to give you a 1-2 punch there.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Definitely wanted to highlight him. Just he practices so well, and I know he's a competitor. He's eager to get in there, and Miles has been the guy that we've featured the majority part of the year. So I think it's just a testament to his mental toughness, how well he stays locked in. He's a great teammate. And as much as he gets excited when Miles is in there, he certainly wants his carry. So I was happy that he had that moment. He's strong, he's physical, he can run through arm tackles, and made that big play at the end to put it out of reach. So that was awesome for him.
Your defense has been really, really good during this 4-game win streak, and it was again Saturday. You hold Bryant to 234 yards in the game. What went so well on that side of the ball?
They're playing fast, physical, just relentless pursuit to the ball. I think we're tackling extremely well right now. When we do a good job on first and second down, stopping the run, I think we got a pretty innovative third down package. So I think, up front, the message has been the last month, hey, earn the right to rush the passer and cut you guys free. Just, have that gap integrity and be in your lanes, early first and second down. And they've been doing that. I think the defensive line keeps getting better. Justice Akamaladen, someone I'd love to highlight. He had a bunch of TFLs, a couple sacks, forced fumble. So he did a really good job wreaking havoc. Trevor Barry at the second level continues to get better for, that redshirt freshman young linebacker that he is. And he's been awesome for us. And Duncan Moreland had a really good game as well. I think we had 5 PBUs total. He had 3 of them. So, Brian had a ton of speed on the perimeter, and, he was put in conflict all day and did a really good job responding.
You guys, I mentioned 4 in a row. You're obviously still very much in the mix for the playoffs. How have you seen this team grow? It seems like you're playing your best football now. How have you seen this team grow and improve from week 1 to where we are now?
I just think the confidence that they're building in themselves, and early on with only 5 starters coming back, just trying to figure out what the continuity was going to be on all 3 phases, who was going to be the playmakers that ultimately we were going to be game planning for, and then who were going to be the guys that when stuff gets tough in the middle of the game that you can lean on from a leadership perspective, and the guys that are going to step up and make those game defining plays. And I think all that stuff has certainly come into light, and we feel really confident with the units that we have on all the phases right now, and they continue to believe and prepare and get better, and they love the practice. So I think that's the best thing, and the thing that I'm most excited about this group is they truly trust in the process. They understand if you want to have an opportunity to win on game day, you need to win the week, and they've been embodying that.
Question for you this morning from Roger. Good morning, Roger.
Hi, Rob. Good morning, Rick.
Morning, Roger.
Following up on your comment there about love and practice, how much easier is it to coach and maybe even be a player at this point in the season when you still got meaningful football? I assume the guys are still focused, and that's helpful with whatever message you're sending them. And second question, maybe a little bit more on Strickland. I know he and probably the staff have been waiting for a game like this from him, and might this boost his confidence and help him, the rest of the way? Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, the narrative for us is always, we want to be emotionally detached from the results, win or lose. And, we play great, we play average, or wherever it ends up being on the spectrum, we got to go back and prepare and do the right things. And, just find creative ways to get that coaching point across. And I think fortunate for us, the last couple of years, November has been meaningful. Last couple of years, really our backs have been against the wall, but we still have a heartbeat, we still have a pulse, still have an opportunity to potentially compete for a national championship, and that's the end goal of this program. So it's been awesome for us. It's certainly allows the guys to stay a little more motivated, I would imagine. And then as far as Peyton, really happy for him. I know, really probably one of the most highly touted recruits to come out of New Hampshire in a long time, and to come in and not have the early success that he had hoped. I know that was hard on him. He's his biggest critic, and he's worked extremely hard this offseason, in particular on the mental side of it, mastering the playbook. From a physical standpoint, he's always had it. And I thought he's just done a phenomenal job of taking to the hard coaching, having ownership and things he needed to correct. He continues to get better. And then right now you're seeing him play it at a really elite level, and he's earned all of that. So really, really proud and happy for him.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rick, obviously a big one Saturday as your rival Maine comes to town. They've won 6 out of 7 and are playing really well too. What do you see from them? Why have they been playing so well, and what are the challenges they present for you Saturday?
Yeah, 5-2 in conference play. Lost the heartbreaker to William and Mary by one that they easily could have won. So I think, they're playing well in all three phases. I always start looking at it from the defensive perspective first. I think they're really physical in how they tackle. They run to the ball. You can tell that they're extremely well coached in terms of their pursuit and how well they strain. So they give elite effort. Defensively, I think the pair of corners that they have between Gibson and Milwaukee, those guys are amazing. They put them out on an island a lot, and they play a lot of man-to-man, and they're going to pressure you, and they have faith in those guys, and they're winning their one-on-one battles at a high rate. Christian Thomas is running sideline to sideline. I think he's top 2 or 3 in the conference in tackles. He's a war daddy in there, and their defensive line is extremely active. They move him around a lot. So that defensive unit is tops in the conference in a lot of the statistical categories. And you could see, you could see why instantly when you turned on the tape last night. And then on the other side of it, they do a phenomenal job of running the ball and being efficient between Marshall and Baines. I think those guys are both top 10 in the conference in rushing yards. Their offensive line is physical. They're active. They do a really good job controlling it. They're tops in the conference in time of possession. So they want to hold on to it. Carter Peavy, it feels like he's been in college football now at this level for like 7 years. He keeps getting better, protects the ball. His ability to get the ball out of his hand. He doesn't take sacks. He sees the ball well. You can tell he's just really, really smart football player. He's cerebral. So he's the guy that makes it go for them. And then Scott Woods is someone not just catching it, from a receiver standpoint. He's one of the best punt and kick returners in the country. So I think this is the best Maine team they probably had since 2018, and we got to be ready for them.
Before I let you go, just talk about what makes this rivalry for the Bryce County Muskets so special. And I always think it's great that the fact that you and Jordan both have played in this game probably keeps the rivalry alive even more. What makes it so special for you?
Yeah, it's heated, it's spirited, it's contentious, it's always physical. The records don't matter. Usually one way or the other, there's playoff implications on the line. So I think it's always a meaningful game in terms of postseason implications. It's always a meaningful game in terms of bragging rights for the year. Both our fan base and alumni, want this game. We recruit similar type guys in similar areas. So yeah, it's spirited, it's good fun, and we're really, really excited for this one.
All right, Rick, thanks as always for your time today, and hopefully